Hey everybody, this is Car Ray Rob.
I'm Ray.
I'm Rob, and tonight we are doing our trailer breakdown for Blade Runner 2049.
Control your enthusiasm, Rob.
It's going to be hard.
All right, Rob, I know we're excited about this, but this movie has some challenges to climb here, right?
Yeah, especially for me, when people ask the question, what's your favorite movie? My answer is Blade Runner. So
I like The Money Pit. That is my answer to that question.
Well, it's not a bad answer. The whole notion of them making a sequel to this movie so long after the first one, there's just a lot of whoa feelings.
Yeah, I think when they first announced this idea, I was like, not good. Felt like it was maybe coming off the heels of The Force Awakens having that long break and then doing well. So now maybe they're just piggybacking. The first teaser looked promising.
There's a lot of things that are going for this movie. Denis Villeneuve is a really amazing director. He's done a lot of great stuff. Sicario, Prisoners, Arrival. Hampton Fancher, who actually penned the original, is coming back to pen this one. Roger Deakins. Roger Deakins is shooting this. He's a living god. Roger Deakins is shooting this.
Living god.
Harrison Ford is in it, as
Ryan Gosling.
Well, that's the wild card for me, because typically I'm not a big Gosling fan. But from that little that we saw in that first teaser, he wasn't bad. But we'll see what this trailer brings. It's got so much going for it, but because of how the first one sits with me, it's just going to be.
It's such like a big. One of those big iconic movies, though. You worry sometimes, like, are they going to try too hard to make it look the same? Is it going to be different enough or feel different enough? So I think those are still uphill battles, because it's like, how do you balance that line? Like, it wants to be similar to the first one, but it also has to be different. So
there's been so much to happen in sci-fi filmmaking since that movie came out, and the whole Matrix effect, I call it. A lot of people try to emulate that. Really kind of bring in those kind of hyperkinetic action sequences and stuff like that. I don't feel like Blade Runner is a movie that really would be conducive to that type of thing. It's a really sci-fi noir. I would be worried if it was another director, because I think he is so strong-willed in his visual style, but it's not gimmicky either.
Right.
I think he'd also, there was such a strong mold laid down by Ridley Scott for the original film, but I think Denis Villeneuve is forward thinking enough that he could actually take that and push it even further. The other notion is this movie influenced everything that came after that. It's going to set the trend. It did it then. It's very likely it could do it now.
It's a lot of pressure, though, to feel like you have to maybe do something like that, and if they try too hard to do that, that could end up flopping. With Ghost in the Shell just coming out, Ghost in the Shell kind of, in a lot of ways, took a visual style from Blade Runner, maybe cleaned it up. But they have those big Asian billboards and stuff. And I wonder, when you start really marketing Blade Runner, maybe in this trailer here, what new audiences will think.
There's probably a safe bet that a lot of people that see Blade Runner 2049 will have never seen the original Blade Runner before they actually sit down.
That's why Ryan Gosling is in this movie.
As much as I hate it, yeah, absolutely. That's totally a reason why Ryan Gosling is in this movie. He is to hook those audience members that have no clue what Blade Runner is.
All right, let's check it out. Let's see what they got for us. So hopefully we're going to get a little more plot, maybe. And
that would be nice.
See where they're going with this, and let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
That sounds familiar.
Every civilization
is so Blade Runner.
First was built.
I keep forgetting he's in this.
Workforce. But I can only make so many. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
There is an order to things.
Classic, kind of feels the same.
That's what we do here.
Clear underwood.
We keep order.
This is what happened when Frank is president.
The world is built on a wall that separates kind. Tell either side there's no wall. You bought a war.
Yes.
You're a cop.
The desert again.
I did your job once. I was good at it. I know.
He's the man.
What do you want?
Who gave him that bloody nose? October 6th.
The key to the future is finally unearthed. Bring it to me. They know you're here.
Drax.
Yeah, he's a Dave Bautista. That's awesome.
I always told you, you're special.
We all are.
Your story isn't over yet. There's still a page left.
Say no.
All right, Rob.
Okay.
So I think that trailer looked pretty good, but I know for you, you're going to be nervous for this movie until the credits roll after you've watched it.
Yeah.
So, but what do you think so far?
I'm just like with the first teaser, I'm a little more assured by this trailer.
It won't be at least a complete letdown.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Denis Villeneuve and crew are on the right path. I think everything visually was pretty much on point from the first one. You know, it still feels like the same world. Even the things that feel more modernized, if you want to call it that, I think feel natural. So like
feel within the scope of where they would be 35 years later.
Right, exactly. So they've got the three-dimensional ballerina and stuff like that. I think that looks really good. The score
sounds really good.
Yeah, I mean, what they've done to update the Vangelis score is really amazing. I think it doesn't, sometimes I feel like when you have such an iconic piece of music and then you make a new movie, decades later, you feel the need to modernize it to the point where it just kills that original piece of music. Case in point, the Fallout Boy rendition of the Ghostbusters theme. Talk about killing a classic piece of music. I don't think they did that at all on this. I think they pretty much nailed the tone.
Kind of like when Rogue One, I think, kind of updated Star Wars a little bit. Stayed within that scope that we're all comfortable with and like. It's updating it, but it's staying, giving homage or whatever. Plot-wise, I'd say from this trailer, which I think is a good thing, don't see much.
No.
I mean, hints at where the story could go. You could toss theories out, I guess, but what do you think, plot-wise? Like, was there stuff there from the book that maybe they can expand on, or is there enough there? I'm still worried about is there a real story to be told here? I guess. As
far as being a natural sequel to the book, no. I mean, this is clearly not really revolving around the Deckard character. He looks to me, especially after this, seems to be much more of a side character. Like he's in there multiple times. You can tell it's not like it's just that one scene where he goes out and finds him, but
that'd be false advertising if that was the case.
It still doesn't seem like he's a main
it's Ryan Gosling's
character.
story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree. Like, there's still not a lot. You can tell that Gosling is an updated Blade Runner. He is, Robin Wright, I guess, is his commanding officer.
Seems like it, yeah.
Something like that. And there's some sort of conspiracy going on, maybe surrounding Jared Leto, who is obviously the one making replicants now, and that type of thing. So, I mean, you're right. There's not a lot of concrete plot points that they give away, but is it enough to make me want to watch the movie? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think there's also differences. Do we want to watch it? Is it going to be good and feel different enough?
That's fair. But, I have to say I put a lot of trust in Hampton Fancher, since he did pen the original.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the world well enough that I think he could cultivate a sequel out of it. Granted, there are people that have, gone back and written sequels to movies they've done years before and they haven't turned out well, but,
some stories are only meant to be told once.
Right, but we'll see. I think I'm glad they're not showing too much because I think modern trailers do that.
If you can get me to go see the movie without telling me the whole story in the trailers, I think you've cut a great trailer.
Yeah.
One thing I kind of wonder with this movie, and maybe this franchise, would be, there is an audience who I think gets a lot of joy. That question being out there, is Deckard a replicant? And I kind of wonder if this sequel even existing kills that theorizing that fans could do with each other. And what if that's going to take away from the first one in some regard?
It's a difficult question just because I feel like it's going to be so personal for each viewer. For me, is it going to kill it? No. The notion of Deckard being a replicant wasn't really the hinge of the movie for me. Was it an interesting thing to theorize about? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, again, you're right. I get, when talking about this movie with people, I get that question a lot. You know,
right.
What do you think? Do you think he's a replicant? You know, what makes you think that he's a replicant? Like the first thing
sometimes people ask.
Right, exactly. But you're right. The fact that he's alive in this movie, aged the way that he has, if you go by the mythology of the first movie, he's not a replicant. His lifespan would have been over a long time ago. However, everything I've read, Denis Villeneuve has flat out said he has no intention of addressing that at all. I'm not going to go as far as to say he's just flat out ignoring it, but I think he's just flat out ignoring it.
Yeah, which maybe is not a bad idea, because there isn't a good answer there, I don't think. And I feel like if you spend time in this movie trying to answer that question for fans, it's going to fall flat, because it's going to just make half the fans mad,
right? Because
they would want it the other way.
Sure.
And you know, that's probably not the focus of this story anyway, so it would feel forced as well. So just ignore it.
But is Ryan Gosling a replicant?
Now, would that be good, though? It would almost feel like they're doing the same thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, but I kind of get that feeling, like, you're special. He's like, I am?
Right. Yeah.
Nobody said that to me since my dad. So I was like,
You know, we'll see where they go with that. You're right. I'm with you, though. I hope they don't necessarily go that route with it. I'm really hoping they kind of just leave that type of thing alone.
That was a thing of the first movie. It doesn't have to be the thing in this one.
Agreed.
So, all right, Rob. Well, now we got to rate this.
Yep.
You know, we always midnight it, stream it, or forget it. Where do you think you're at with Blade Runner 2049?
Well, even with all the pressure that I have for this movie, the love that I have for the first movie, I'm gonna midnight.
Okay.
I'm giving Denis Villeneuve. I'm giving Roger Deakins. I'm giving Captain Fancher.
Ryan Gosling.
I'm even giving Ryan Gosling a chance on this one. I'm excited. I'm more excited than I thought I would be from these trailers. So for that reason alone, midnight.
Yeah, I want to midnight too. I've really only seen Blade Runner that one time. We watched it together, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
You're
so
welcome.
I want to see the sequel, and this has done nothing that scares me off.
Yeah.
So. Midnight it
is. All right, everybody. It's time to let us know what you think about the Blade Runner 2049 trailer. Are you excited for this movie? Are you a big fan of the first one and still a little bit hesitant about this one? We want to see it in the comments below.
And then hit the like and subscribe button so you can catch our next video.
Until then, this is Car Ray Rob.
I'm Ray.
I'm Rob. He probably owes you money, huh? I'll ask him.
He's dead. He cannot talk.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Look who knows so much. Just so happens your friend here is mostly dead. There's a big difference in mostly dead and all dead. With mostly dead, that's still slightly alive. With all dead, there's really only one thing you can do.
What's that?
Go through his clothes and look for loose change.